Family attorney Hope Strawn says many Bahamians believe if a couple is getting divorced or is legally separated and children are involved, the mother automatically gets custody.
I think in our Bahamian society, we are still of the view that, mothers are the natural caregivers, the natural persons who really would have the children. And so I think most people start off from the premise, well, okay, if we get a divorce, naturally mom's going to get the children. But that doesn't maintain in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, fathers actually want custody of their children. If they do, and mother does not agree with that, then of course you have the contested situation.
The attorney said it's a tough job for the judge to decide who gets primary custody of the children.
It's a very, very comprehensive review of the situation of both parties, and that is done by trying to always have the view of an objective third party. And usually that objective third party would be the Department of Social Services. And so what the judge would normally say is that, okay, both parties have to first of all file their affidavits. And their affidavits have to first of all set out their case. Why is it that you think that you are the better parent to have custody of the children? And then the judge would then ask the Department of Social Services to prepare a social services report in which they would give their recommendations about which parent really is to be preferred in terms of the custody issue. And their report is usually compiled as a result of investigations. Their investigations would normally comprise of interviewing the child in and out of the presence of the parents, interviewing let's say any family members who reside in the home with the children, interviewing the school teacher and school headmistress or headmaster. If there are medical issues, they would have to also look up, the persons who are attending to the children medically. Any person who has a role to play in the children's lives and in that family's life, the department would try to get a report.
She went on to explain that just because one parent is chosen does not mean the other is incapable.
It doesn't necessarily mean that if once the court makes a recommendation that one parent is unfit or more fit than the other. But what the court will do, and what the Department of Social Services is mandated to do, is to give their opinion based on the welfare of the children.
So how exactly is maintenance calculated?
That you would go in and you would take an oath when your trial date comes up, and you would give the court your evidence about what your financial situation is. You would have to prove to the court why it is that you need this maintenance, and you would also have to show to the court why it is that you had to bring the other party to court to get that maintenance. And it usually is that the other party has been neglectful about their obligation. How does the court decide how much you get? It decides based on the needs.
Now, the attorney added that when calculating maintenance, the court keeps a number of things in mind, among them school fees, a child's lunch money, transportation, health needs, and living expenses. She said it's also important to note that maintenance is only applicable to children up to the age of 18 or 22, that is, once in full-time education. Now, next week we will look at the final segment in this series, how property is divided. Until then, I'm Sasha Lightbourne, and now you know you're right.